Have you noticed that all the good things in life are getting smaller? I mean, what even is this little taster? This is an overpriced bag of air. So the good things are getting smaller apart from cars. They're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And do you know what? That doesn't always work, does it? Definitely not in congested cities. So Honda have come up with something. This is the Honda Super N, and I'm going to take a closer look. Now, where's my magnifying glass?
Let's be honest, Honda hasn't had the easiest of electric car rides recently. The Honda E, I mean, it was fantastic. We all loved it, except for it had that rather limited range and the massive price tag, so it was quietly dropped. Then, of course, there was the ENY1, intended for anyone, which was just a bit, I mean, it's sold, but only with big discounts. And now it's been quietly dropped. So the company's trying something different, very different. This is the Super N, which will be coming to the UK in the summer of 2026. And it certainly is different to the usual SUVs. I mean, just look at it.
Now, there is no need to adjust your screen. It really does look this tall, thin and short. Now, that's because the Super N is based on a Japanese Kai car. Now, that has lower tax if it stays within certain dimensions. Hence, why this looks like this. It's 3.4 metres long, which is 3,400 millimetres, if that's the way you like to measure. So I was thinking about this. I think this has to be the shortest proper electric car that I can think of. 232 millimetres shorter than a Fiat 500e, 2 rollers less than a BYD Dolphin Surf. So basically what I'm trying to say is that it's absolutely tiny, it's mini, but I reckon it could be exactly what us city dwellers need. It's also 2 rulers narrower than the widest EVs, so fewer smashed door mirrors from passing bin lorries. You can park in multi-storey car parks without needing to exit through the sunroof, so ultimately this is a double win. Let's stop styling for a second, because Honda say that this has been styled to look like the Honda City Turbo. Let's check, shall we? Oh yeah, it does. Actually, there's quite a lot of inspiration taken from this. I mean, first of all, we've got an asymmetric little charge port there, which reflects the asymmetric grille at the front. Instantly, you can see the inspiration taken from the headlights. And then round here, you've got the wide wheel arches, the air inlets, also the rear lights as well, and the diffuser at the back. So actually, there is quite a lot of influence from this turbo in this. Also the Honda E as well, particularly with the lights.
Now, the sportiness doesn't come from outright performance, because the standard power output is a whopping 64 horsepower, which isn't a lot. The new Dacia Spring has 100 brake horsepower, for example. But the Honda does have a button which brings in boost mode, increasing the power to 95 brake horsepower. Nope, that's still not a huge amount, but it does have a little trick up its sleeve to make the most of it. Just like the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, the Honda has a simulated 7-speed transmission and an active sound control system, which makes it behave like a petrol car. It will even bounce off an imaginary rev limiter if you don't change gear, and makes the interior lights glow red. The kids are going to love it. Now, there aren't any performance figures as yet, but I'm guessing they won't be winning many top trumps games. But my guess is you're going to be having a lot more fun than the driver in the 400 brake horsepower SUV.
We'll step inside and you will discover quite quickly it's like a TARDIS in here. How is there so much space inside for such a small car? This reminds me of a very, very early Nissan Micra. Now, I say that purely because that was one of my first cars, It was my first car. And because of the ceiling height and the big window in front, it just gave that feeling of space and light and airiness. I think that's probably where the similarities end. But yeah, that's what it's reminding me of. Now, obviously, 4 seats. I cannot wait to go back there because it looks like there's too much space. I don't understand how that's happening. Anyway, we'll look at there in a minute. What have we got? So we've got some pretty simple physical buttons. I mean, it is simple. Don't expect too much luxury. It's kind of simple materials, but it still looks decent. You've got a 9-inch display screen here, and then you've got another digital display screen in front of the driver. Down here, we've got the different drive modes. I think there's about 4 different drive modes. Eco, City, Normal, Sport, which I think is pretty impressive. We've also got some paddle gears, if you know what I mean. And then we've got a little bit of storage. You know, the good thing is, I reckon there's a storage bin down here which looks like it could take a good sized bottle of water. The only downside I'm seeing is there's only one place to hide stuff. I don't like seeing clutter. I don't want to see my stuff. We've only got one little glove compartment there, and there is a surface where I can put my phone and it's not going to lie flat. Annoyingly, it doesn't fit there. It doesn't fit there. You could, no, it's not going to fit there. That's going to slide everywhere. The only place you could really put it is there. Now, if you want to charge it, your cable is there. Now, I think the idea, there's like a little lip. I think the idea is probably that your phone goes there, but my phone is too wide. And bearing in mind, it's not a ginormous phone. So that's going to be interesting to test when we take it for a drive. So that's my only little bit of feedback so far. Now, maybe I'm getting a little overexcited. It is still very basic back here. I mean, you don't have any charging ports or any additional exciting things apart from you've got a little storage space there in the back of the chair, and you've got 2 cup holders in your door. Apart from that, it's just a place to sit and maybe hold on, depending on who's driving. Now, the Super N has a little trick up its sleeve. You might have seen these before, but I love it when things are so easy to do. Don't have to press a button, nothing. All I have to do is lift it up, put it down, ta-da! So suddenly, if you want to put plant pots or suitcases or anything, you've got space that is so easily accessible. There's no faffing around. And then I'll just put those back down and show you what happens. You can put both, again, really simple to do. At the touch of a button, you can put both of those seats down. And the figures aren't official yet, but we believe it's over 1,000 litres. So if you need it, you do have a pretty good sized boot, let's be honest.
Now, if we turn to our attention to the boot, well, you've guessed it, it's tiny. Now, the boot isn't all that small. The battery isn't much bigger than the one in my phone. Okay, that's not strictly true. Honda haven't actually confirmed the battery size yet, but we reckon it will be just under 30 kilowatt hours based on what we've seen in other markets. And if that is the case, it's going to be almost half the size of the pack in something like a Vauxhall Corsa and a quarter of the capacity of a BMW iX3 battery. But we await final confirmation on that one. What has been confirmed is the official range of 128 miles, although Honda is also keen to emphasise that it will be nearer the 200-mile mark if you stick to the town and local roads. Now, that's better than the cheapest Fiat with the smaller battery, but is beaten by everything else, including the Dacia Spring and the new Renault Twingo. We're also expecting it to be reasonably efficient, which is helped because the Honda weighs 1,097 kilos. That is less than all the rivals except for the featherlight Dacia. Charging? Well, unofficially, we think charging will be at 50 kilowatts, so it's a little bit on the slow side too.
Right, it is time for a bit of a conclusion, and I'd just like to say I promise you I am not swayed by the fact that my initials in the taillight. Pretty sure this car's been made for me. But anyway, let's get down to the business end of the review and talk money, because money does matter. And I hope you're going to be pleasantly surprised, because we haven't got the final number, but we have been told, guaranteed in fact, that the price of this is going to start with a 1. So it's going to be under £20,000. And that suddenly makes this a good value car, right? And personally, for me, this is a car that is cool. It's got personality. It's cute at the same time. I am a big fan. It's going to go up against European rivals like the Renault Twingo and the Fiat 500e. So there is going to be stiff competition, but quite different, right? We've got European versus Japanese, spaghetti versus sushi. What's your vibe? Let me know in the comments below. I've been looking for a car to, I guess, replace the first car I fell in love with. My first EV was the very original BMW i3. I loved that car. I felt like I was the fastest thing on the road because from 0 to 30, I was nipping around town in a tiny little box on wheels. And I feel like this could potentially be that replacement. Obviously, we've got to drive it. So the proof will be in the pudding. But so far, I like it. I like this little bulldog. I'm ready for a test drive now. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think?